It's not just klebsiella that's linked to ankylosing spondylitis or to Crohn's disease. Another bacteria I wanted to look at was Morganella morgani, and the reason is because it was actually picked up in my own microbiome analysis many years ago. If we look at this paper here, researchers analysed 49 people with Crohn's and compared them to 54 healthy controls. What they found was that the Crohn's patients had the most dysbiotic microbiome profile, meaning that their microbiome was the most imbalanced compared to what a normal, healthy microbiome should be. Species like Morganella morgani, the exact one I mentioned before, and E. coli were seen to be in much higher amounts compared to the healthy controls. These kinds of bacteria also produce a thing called hexacylated LPS or lipopolysaccharide, basically meaning that they released a much more inflammatory bacterial toxin. And these can strongly trigger big immune responses. Along with this, beneficial bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids were seen to be dramatically decreased, and we need these short-chain fatty acids to keep the gut strong. The study was looking at Crohn's, and I have AS. I've never been diagnosed with Crohn's or had any of the symptoms, but there is a big overlap between the two diseases. The thing that I see though, and I also had this problem, was that many people with AS also have just a lot of stomach problems, perhaps not getting to the IBD level, but you can kind of see where there can be joint pain, but also a lot of gut inflammation. Coming back to my case here, if we know that Morganella morgani is heavily linked to Crohn's and I've got it in super high abundance, as you can see here, is it much of a surprise to also think that perhaps this is the driving force behind my AS, and perhaps even just why I used to get a lot of stomach problems? And what you can also see here by this same image is that I didn't just have this one particular bacteria. There are others listed here that were a problem. I also had SIBO, and I see this a lot with the people I work with. They don't just have one bacterial issue or one parasitic issue. It's usually a layer of issues that are there that need to be dealt with. Now, there isn't much data on Morganella morgani and perhaps natural antimicrobials that have been shown to work against it. One I saw was actually sage, which has been shown to have a 75% inhibition rate, but I've never actually used sage against Morganella morgani. I've used more broad spectrum agents that are looking at negative gram-bacterial issues and had some great success with it. Things like berberine, things like allicin, things like grapefruit seed extract, curcumin, whilst also, as always, looking at the structures of the gut and what perhaps is damaged or not functioning properly to deal with these bacterial issues in the first place, my own natural defenses. There's a lot that I've looked at to try and fix these issues, and it seems to be the thing that works.